Hello there, I'm just going to do another quick little video. This one's going to be based again around the entertainment system or entertainment setup that I have here. It was revealed to me in one of my last videos that I didn't have enough light. Basically the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 3 were a little bit dark, a bit hard to see, a bit hard to make all the detail. So this time I have found some lights and I'm shining them behind the TV. That's the next clue for this video. I'm not going to be concentrating on the games consoles as I did last time. I am going to be concentrating behind the TV. So making my way back here, squeezing through this tiny little gap, I am hopefully going to get in here. There we go. Oof. Right. So, it does look like a complete mess back here, but it's not. It's a lot better than it could have been had I let all these cables just hang around. And be sure I am going to redo this again from probably on my next day off. Take the whole lot apart and put it all back together again. It seems a bit silly, but it will make it look a lot better. So we'll start down the bottom here. You'll notice this big lump of cables here. They go off one way to the TV and one way up here, which actually is to all these plugs. Now that's a lot of plugs. I'm sure there'll be electricians saying that's too much on one plug and etc, etc. And you may be right. However, the 12 that are on this set here are not always on. There's a plug at the top there, and basically I turn it on, lights up, surge protection lights up and off, and that is the power to all of this tower. Now on this tower, we've got down the bottom there, you've got the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Sega Mega Drive 2, Mega CD 2 on the other side, and the Master System on the bottom there. And there on the side here you've got, say, the PlayStation 3, the Nintendo 64, that one I know is the GameCube, the Xbox isn't plugged in, and on the other side you've got the rest of the consoles. So they're all plugged in and they're all turned off. Now someone said to me 12 of them in one plug is way too much for, you know, one like 12 of these plugs into one wall plug is too much voltage for that plug. And yeah, it would be, but I'm never going to play more than one at the same time, so only one's ever going to be on, so that should be fine. I'm more worried about this one, which has got 5 coming off of it. But again, a couple of them don't get used that often, and they are very low voltage. A couple of them aren't, but we'll brace past that. So basically, I've bundled them all up. I've left a gap here so I can turn some of these cables around. Basically, if they'd come down here and they're too long to just come across, they'll be sent down here and turned around at various stages or wherever they fit. I've left enough gap there so that you don't fold them, so then you don't necessarily damage the cable, because obviously that's not what you don't want a duff power cable really. But moving back up here, as it comes up, it goes behind this. This is what I'm going to be sorting out, so I can have the AV on one side and the power on the other, and make it look a lot neater. You'll see here there's a hole, and another one just here, and you can see there, that one is actually the AV cables. So you've got AV cables that branch off from their big strand into all the consoles that need it in there. Same goes with the power, which is just behind, just here. And the same goes up here. So you've got power coming off behind here, and you've got AV that actually branches off here and goes back and in. That way it holds it all together, puts less stress on the plugs up here, and basically keeps it from being tangled. It's a bit of a nightmare if I want to get one particular thing out, which unfortunately I had to do recently. I changed from the Mega Drive 1 to the Mega Drive 2. I haven't redone this, which I will be doing again. Moving up to the back of the TV, you'll see they've got this 5-port SCART adapter, and yes, I've got composite cables in there, but SCART is considerably better quality than composite. The bits you see there, the cables plug into are little adapters, So those adapters, you can get them for S-Video as well, which I need to get hold of for the Nintendo 64. Basically, they keep that quality. The pins on, I'll show you. If I show you an RGB SCART first. So that is an RGB SCART. 21 pins, all of them used, all of them work all the way through the cable. There's no splicing, they're all individual cables. So that one is for the Mega Drive 2. The one you see here is for the Super Nintendo. So if I pull this out, it's on composite. So say you just plug them in, just this little adapter. You'll notice that there are pins missing. That's because those pins have nothing to connect to. The composite cables come in and are connected to a various amount of these pins on the inside. So there is no point in putting other pins in there. They have no use. The S-Video one is exactly the same sort of manner, but they do have different pins for different applications. So I've zip-tied that to the back of my TV and zip-tied the cable, taken up the slack again, and then you obviously can see over there a whole bunch of inputs. So from the top up there you've got the HDMI, just below it you have what you can see will be the VGA, and then the red and white VGA audio cables, and then behind that you have RF. There's only one console here that runs off RF, that's the Sega Master System. Underneath there you have the SCART input, and underneath there you have component. There is actually two HDMIs, but you can't make out the second one from there. You can make out the third one just on the back there. So basically that's all the power and AV to the games consoles. Moving along, you do see this grey cable down here. That's a Cat 6 cable that runs all the way from the router downstairs up here and in to this, which is a Netgear gigabit switch, and I cannot recommend that enough. It is fantastic. It can switch, or allows anything to move sort of from downstairs, from the internet, from my server, through the router up to here, and then get split to wherever I need it to go. So this purple cable, there's another long cable that goes around this room to the Mac. The yellow cable goes to the Roku box, giving it a much faster connection speed. The blue one is going to the Skybox. The light grey one you see there goes to the PlayStation, and then obviously you've got the Mac and the downstairs. I will be at some point upgrading all of these cables to Cat 6. There are Cat 5e with the exception of this one on the end, which is a Cat 6. So that is the back of here. When I plug it all back in, or when I redo it all, upgrade things, get new consoles, at some point I'll do another video for this, just so that we can keep it updated and keep you in the loop. If there's anything you think I should be doing, any tips, any advice, any questions, please feel free to comment, and I will try and answer them as soon as I can.